Imagine a crocodile, but make it as long as a school bus. That's Sarcosuchus for you. This incredible creature wasn't just big, it was a true giant of the ancient world. We often call it Super Croc, and for good reason. It lived about 112 million years ago during the Cretaceous period. This was a time when dinosaurs roamed the earth. Sarcosuchus was one of the top predators in its environment. Its skull alone could be as long as a person is tall. This massive head was filled with over 100 powerful teeth, perfect for grabbing and holding onto large prey that came to the water's edge for a drink. The sheer size of Sarcosuchus is what truly captures our imagination. Scientists estimate it could reach lengths of up to 40 feet or about 12 meters. Its weight was equally impressive, possibly tipping the scales at around 8 tons. That's heavier than some of the largest elephants alive today. Unlike modern crocodiles, its snout was incredibly long and slender when it was young, but it broadened out as the animal grew older. This change suggests that its diet might have shifted from fish to larger land animals as it matured. It was a true river monster, a king of its domain and a powerful example of what nature can create. One of the most unique features of Sarcosuchus was its eyes. They were set high on its head and pointed upwards. This tells us a lot about how it hunted. It could hide almost completely submerged in the water, with just its eyes and nostrils peeking above the surface. From this hidden position, it could watch the riverbanks for unsuspecting dinosaurs. When an animal came close enough, Sarcosuchus would explode from the water with incredible force. Its powerful jaws would snap shut, and the unfortunate prey would have little chance of escape. This ambush hunting style is still used by its modern relatives today, a timeless and effective strategy. The body of Sarcosuchus was covered in thick, bony plates called scutes. These acted like a suit of armor, protecting it from other predators and the struggles with its powerful prey. These scutes were so robust that many of them have been found as fossils, helping us piece together what this magnificent animal looked like. Its powerful tail would have propelled it through the water with great speed and force, making it a formidable swimmer. Every part of Sarcosuchus, from its armored back to its massive jaws, was perfectly designed for a life of dominance in the prehistoric rivers of Africa and South America. To truly understand Sarcosuchus, we have to picture the world it lived in. During the early Cretaceous period, about 112 million years ago, the Earth was a very different place. It was much warmer and more humid than it is today. The areas where Sarcosuchus lived, which are now parts of Africa and South America, were covered in vast tropical river systems. These were not small streams, they were massive, sprawling waterways flowing through lush floodplains. The environment was filled with life, from giant ferns and ancient trees to a huge variety of other animals, creating a rich ecosystem where a giant like Sarcosuchus could thrive and find plenty of food. The rivers were the heart of this ancient world. They were wide, deep, and teeming with life. Massive fish, some as big as a car, swam in these waters. These fish would have been a primary food source for a young Sarcosuchus. The riverbanks were just as busy. Giant, long-necked dinosaurs known as sauropods would come to the water's edge to drink. Other dinosaurs, like the plant-eating Ouranosaurus, also shared this habitat. For a fully grown Sarcosuchus, these large land animals were the main course on the menu. Its life revolved around the rhythm of the river, waiting patiently for the perfect moment to strike its next meal. This warm, wet environment was perfect for a cold-blooded reptile like Sarcosuchus. It could use the sun's heat to warm its massive body, giving it the energy it needed for powerful bursts of speed. The water helped it stay cool and hidden. This climate remained stable for millions of years, allowing creatures like Sarcosuchus to grow to enormous sizes. There was an abundance of food, water, and space. This stability meant that Sarcosuchus didn't need to change much for a very long time. It had found a winning formula for survival, becoming the undisputed ruler of its watery kingdom. Of course, Sarcosuchus wasn't the only big predator around. It shared its world with large carnivorous dinosaurs like Spinosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus. While these land-based hunters patrolled the floodplains, Sarcosuchus commanded the waterways. There was likely some competition for food, especially around the riverbanks where their territories overlapped. A dinosaur carcass near the water would have attracted predators from both land and river. This dynamic created a dangerous and competitive world where only the strongest and best adapted creatures could survive and dominate. Sarcosuchus was more than up to the challenge, holding its own against some of the fiercest dinosaurs of all time. Sarcosuchus was part of a larger, incredibly successful group of reptiles called Crocodyliforms. This group includes all modern crocodiles, alligators, caimans, and their ancient relatives. The basic body plan of a crocodiliform turned out to be one of the most successful designs in the history of life on Earth. It's a blueprint for an ambush predator that works just as well today as it did millions of years ago. This design includes a long, powerful body, a strong tail for swimming, short but sturdy legs, and of course a head full of sharp teeth. This fundamental structure has allowed them to survive multiple mass extinction events that wiped out many other animals. The key to their success is their semi-aquatic lifestyle. By living both in water and on land, crocodiliforms can take advantage of two different worlds. The water provides them with cover, a place to cool down, and a hunting ground full of fish and other aquatic prey. On land they can bask in the sun to regulate their body temperature and lay their eggs. This versatility means they aren't completely dependent on one environment. If food becomes scarce in the water, they can hunt animals on the shore. This adaptability is a core reason why they have been around for over 200 million years, a truly remarkable feat of survival. Let's look at their adaptations more closely. Their eyes, ears, and nostrils are all located on the top of their head. This is a classic crocodiliform trait that we see in Sarcosuchus and modern crocodiles alike. It allows them to be almost entirely hidden beneath the water's surface while still being able to see, hear, and breathe. They also have a special valve at the back of their throat that allows them to open their mouths underwater without swallowing any water. This is crucial for drowning their prey. These features are part of the standard toolkit that has made them such effective hunters for millions of years. This successful blueprint has allowed the crocodiliform group to diversify into many different shapes and sizes over time. Some ancient relatives were fully terrestrial, running on long legs like dogs. Others were fully marine, with flippers instead of feet. Sarcosuchus represents the giant river-dweller branch of this family tree. While many of these specialized forms eventually went extinct, the classic semi-aquatic ambush predator design persisted. It was a winning formula that didn't need much fixing. The crocodiles we see today are the living proof of this incredible evolutionary success story, carrying on a legacy that their giant ancestors helped establish. While Sarcosuchus and a modern Nile crocodile might look similar at first glance, there are some very important differences between them. These differences show us the evolutionary journey that led from the ancient giant to the streamlined predators we know today. The most obvious difference is size. Sarcosuchus was a true behemoth, while modern crocodiles are much smaller and more compact. The largest living crocodile, the saltwater crocodile, can reach about 20 feet in length, which is massive, but still only half the size of its prehistoric cousin. This reduction in size was a key part of their evolutionary story. The skull shape is another major difference. Sarcosuchus had a very long snout, with a strange bulbous tip called a bulla. We're still not entirely sure what the bulla was for, but it might have been related to sense of smell or making sounds. Modern crocodiles, on the other hand, have skulls that are more broadly shaped and structurally powerful for their size. Their jaws are designed to produce one of the strongest bite forces in the animal kingdom. This allows them to tackle a wide variety of prey with incredible efficiency. Their skull is a masterpiece of natural engineering, refined over millions of years for maximum power and effectiveness. Another important improvement is in their movement. While Sarcosuchus was certainly powerful, modern crocodiles have a more versatile way of moving. They have the famous death roll, where they spin their bodies in the water to dismember large prey. This is a complex behavior that requires a flexible and powerful body. Modern crocodiles can also perform a high walk, lifting their bodies off the ground to move more efficiently on land. Some smaller species can even gallop for short distances. These advancements in movement gave modern crocodiles an edge, allowing them to hunt and survive in a wider range of situations than their giant ancestors could. These changes didn't happen overnight. They were the result of millions of years of gradual evolution. As the world changed, the giant size of Sarcosuchus became less of an advantage. Smaller, more agile, and more efficient bodies became the new key to survival. The crocodiliforms that were able to adapt and shrink down were the ones that made it through. This process of refinement led to the modern crocodiles we see today. They are not primitive relics, they are highly evolved survivors, perfectly tuned to their environments after a long and dramatic evolutionary history. The world didn't stay the same warm, stable place that Sarcosuchus knew. Major environmental changes played a huge role in shaping the evolution of crocodiles. The biggest event was the mass extinction that occurred at the end of the Cretaceous period about 66 million years ago. This is the event that wiped out the non-avian dinosaurs. A massive asteroid struck the Earth, causing global devastation. The sky darkened with dust, plants died, and ecosystems collapsed. This was a terrible time for large animals that needed a lot of food. Giants like Sarcosuchus were long gone by then, but their large relatives faced a similar fate. The animals that survived this catastrophe were generally smaller. A smaller body requires less food and can hide more easily. The ancestors of modern crocodiles fit this description. They were able to find enough food to get by in the broken ecosystems. Their cold-blooded metabolism was also a huge advantage. Unlike warm-blooded animals that need to eat constantly to maintain their body temperature, crocodiles can go for very long periods without a meal. They could wait out the tough times, surviving on their body's reserves until conditions improved. This ability to endure hardship was crucial for making it through the extinction event. After the extinction, the world slowly began to recover, but it was a different world. New types of mammals started to evolve and fill the empty niches left by the dinosaurs. The climate also continued to change, with periods of cooling and drying. The vast, continent-spanning river systems of the Cretaceous began to shrink and change. For Crocodyliforms, this meant they had to adapt to new environments and new types of prey. The giant fish and dinosaurs were gone, replaced by mammals, birds, and modern fish. The crocodiles that were successful were the ones that could hunt this new menu of animals. This pressure to adapt led to the diversification of modern crocodiles. Different groups evolved to specialize in different habitats. Some, like the saltwater crocodile, adapted to live in both freshwater and the ocean, allowing them to travel vast distances. Others, like the slender-snouted crocodiles, specialized in catching fish in fast-flowing rivers. This process of adaptation and specialization is what created the variety of crocodiles, alligators, caimans, and gharials we see today. They are all descendants of the survivors who made it through one of the toughest times in Earth's history, proving just how resilient their ancient blueprint truly is. The story of crocodile survival is a story of timeless tactics. The most fundamental of these is the ambush. This strategy, perfected by giants like Sarcosuchus, remains the signature move of modern crocodiles. It's a game of patience and explosive power. A crocodile will spend hours or even days waiting in the same spot. It remains almost completely still, looking like a floating log. This incredible patience is a weapon. Prey animals become comfortable with the log and let their guard down. That's when the crocodile strikes, launching itself from the water with a speed that is shocking to witness. This ancient tactic is brutally effective. Another key survival tactic is their incredible toughness. The armored scutes that covered Sarcosuchus are still present in modern crocodiles, providing excellent protection, but their toughness goes deeper than that. Crocodiles have one of the most powerful immune systems in the natural world. They live in murky water filled with bacteria, and they often get serious injuries from fighting with each other or with large prey. Yet, they rarely get infections. Their blood contains special proteins that destroy harmful bacteria, allowing them to heal from wounds that would be fatal to other animals. This internal resilience is just as important as their external armor. Crocodiles are also masters of conserving energy. As cold-blooded animals, they don't generate their own body heat. This might seem like a disadvantage, but it's actually a secret to their long-term survival. A mammal of the same size needs to eat 10 times as much food as a crocodile just to stay warm. A crocodile can eat a large meal, and then go for weeks or even months without eating again. This amazing efficiency means they can thrive in environments where food is not always available. It allowed their ancestors to survive mass extinctions, and it allows modern crocodiles to endure long droughts or harsh seasons. Finally, we have to talk about their parenting. It might be surprising, but crocodiles are very caring mothers. A mother crocodile will build a nest for her eggs and guard it fiercely against predators for months. When the babies start to hatch, they make little chirping sounds. The mother will gently dig them out of the nest. She will then carry the tiny, vulnerable hatchlings in her massive jaws, taking them to a safe nursery area in the water. She continues to protect them for several weeks or months. This parental care gives the next generation a much better chance of survival, ensuring that the ancient lineage of crocodiles continues long into the future. The legacy of Sarcosuchus is all around us, swimming in the rivers and estuaries of the tropics today. Every time we see a crocodile or an alligator, we are looking at a living continuation of a story that began with giants like Super Croc. Sarcosuchus was not a direct ancestor of modern crocodiles, but more like a great uncle in the family tree. It represents a peak of size and power for the Crocodyliform lineage. It showed the world how a semi-aquatic ambush predator could dominate an entire ecosystem. The lessons learned during its reign were passed down through shared ancestry, shaping the survivors that came after it. The most important part of this legacy is the body plan. Sarcosuchus was a testament to the success of the Crocodyliform blueprint. Its existence proved that this design could support a creature of immense proportions. When the environment changed and being a giant was no longer a good idea, the basic blueprint was flexible enough to be scaled down. The core features, the armored body, the top-mounted senses, the powerful tail, the ambush lifestyle remained. The modern crocodile is a refined, more efficient version of the same brilliant design that made Sarcosuchus the king of its time. It's a legacy of adaptability built on a foundation of strength. By studying Sarcosuchus, we gain a deeper appreciation for the crocodiles of today. We realize they are not primitive holdovers from a bygone era. They are highly evolved, incredibly successful survivors. They carry the genetic heritage of a lineage that has faced down dinosaurs, survived asteroid impacts, and adapted to constantly changing climates. They are the heirs to a dynasty of predators that has ruled the water's edge for over 200 million years. Sarcosuchus helps us put their incredible history into perspective, showing us the epic scale of their evolutionary journey from prehistoric titan to modern master of survival. In the end, Sarcosuchus is more than just a fossil. It is a symbol of nature's power and resilience. It reminds us that the story of life on Earth is long and filled with incredible chapters. The journey from a 40-foot river monster to the sleek, cunning predators of today is one of the greatest survival stories ever told. The next time you see a crocodile, take a moment to think of its giant ancestor. You are looking at the living legacy of Super Croc, a testament to the enduring power of a design that has truly stood the test of time, a perfect predator then, and a perfect predator now.